Hello and welcome to the Darby Creek Diaries. I'm Gail Thompson and I'm so glad you're joining me. We are going to do an easy Z-fold card cheat. I was watching Craft Roulette the other day and this was my first week as a patron, so I had the extra time. So I decided to go for it. If you're not familiar with Craft Roulette, it's a crafting game show on Friday evenings. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and they draw from the wheel. They spin a wheel and they get some parameters. And this episode, it was Z-fold, old item that you have, any color, which was good, an item from Mesk, which is something from your messy desk, which I really don't have. I had something laying there, but I have to clean up in between my card projects. Do you? Anyway, I encourage you to check it out. It's a lot of fun. And the moderator is Mary Gun Fun, which is a fabulous name. And she's a very nice lady. And I think you'll enjoy her guests and encourage you to participate.
If you're having a birthday this year, this card's for you. I'm starting by making my card base. It's super easy to just put it up against a corner like that and fold it over using a bone folder. And then to do the Z fold, all you do is fold it back on itself and take that same bone folder, and there's your Z fold. It just couldn't be easier. Now I'm going to add the cheat to it. This is a die from Dare to be Artsy, and it is designed to go up against the seam there, and it's just going to make a cute little pop out. This is an old die, so this is my old thing for the card. And now when you do this tape, I thought I got some of the sticky off, but apparently not enough. Just make sure you slowly fold back on itself so you won't tear your paper. And then there's the other die. It's a set of two. One's a little bit bigger than the other. And then here are the framelits that go with it. Also an old die. So I've got that base covered. I went ahead and saved time and cut out the squares. And now I'm trying to decide the lay of the land there. I'm going to apply the first square and only going to glue it on that left side. Otherwise, and I've done this before, I'd glue the card shut. But I'm just checking to make sure I eyeball everything. If you know me, I don't really like math that well. And so I pretty much eyeball everything. Well, I decided it was kind of plain, so I got something from my Mesk, quote unquote. I had just been playing around with my new foilables from Pink and Maine, and there they are as the toner, the original one, and then there's the leftovers, I guess it would be the negative, and I can use that on another card. I cut that out using a Hero Arts rounded rectangle die, and I'm going to measure this, and I know that I'm going to be at 1 3/4 ish to get that centered. I had the camera off for some reason while I was measuring it. You really wouldn't have to measure it. Eyeballing it would work too. I just had that foil piece flipped over on the back so I could mark it. Now this Tim Holtz rail trimmer, it has squares every 1/4 inch. So that's very helpful, and lines so you can make sure that you've got your cut straight, and you can always, do your math I can do math every 1/4 inch. It's just when it's obvious. It's just not my thing. So with this trimmer, this rail trimmer, you always want to push in. You don't want to push just straight forward. You want to just push in, and it cuts everything just like butter. So now I've got my pieces, and we will glue those on to the front of the card. I just thought it added a little something something, and I knew they were going to be smaller. Had I thought it out even further, I would have probably matted those. But I was trying to do the card quickly like one would do if one were on the show. And I'm having the worst time with all my glue bottles It was amazing. I went through three. Uh, I'll explain some other time, but it was quite the adventure. So I'm just going to lay that down and match those up, and it's easy to line up. Don't have to do any math or thinking there. And I'm just going to let that dry. Now I'm going to assemble the front pieces, just kind of figuring out where to align. And this time I'm just going to put glue on that flap. That way I can't possibly screw it up. Well, there's always a way for me to screw up, but at this point, I'm good to go. I hope you're doing great and enjoying the summer. I haven't had a chance to do much because every time I turn around, something comes up and that's unplanned, and there goes my time. I'm sure that happens to you too, but this summer has been an adventure. We've been having storms in Ohio just about weekly, and I have this tree that has issues. And so now about half of it's gone. And it's just been one thing after another. But I am back to crafting, at least for now. So now I've got those pieces glued on and the Z part is complete. Now I'm trying to decide what to do with this. So that's when I came up with the number 23, because I don't know. I just thought everybody has a birthday this year, so here you go. It's just for fun. I don't know if anybody's going to be 23, but if you do, let me know, because I've got the card for you. I decided I wanted the balloons to have some sort of string, and this was an adventure too, because this stuff is really hard to tie. But I decided I was going to tie it anyway, because no one ever accused me of being smart. Sorry about my head getting in the way. I guess I could have used my tweezers to clip it. Hey, I didn't think of that. By the way, these are by Neat and Tangled, and I found some others, and I'll put them down in the description, because Neat and Tangled's not in business anymore. But there's how I got those tied. Now this glue does dry clear, but I decided to put a little star over it. I wanted to make it a little bit blingy, but now is the time that I nearly crashed and burned. And maybe I did crash and burn right there. My glitter pen went and blooped all over everything. So now I'm racing to try to do a salvage operation. So my idea was, well, just bloop the other one too, and then that way they'll match, and then we'll just let them dry and see what they look like. Well, it looks like crap to me. So this stuff comes off on your fingers. So I took a little towel and just started wiping off. See how much is on that too still? Because I haven't wiped that one yet. So I decide, well, this is the way to go. It's the only way to go. And just keep in mind, whenever you use that pen, though, that does go off. Well, I have this big blot by the star. And it's like, well, do I just take the star off? Do I do all this? I didn't have a bunch of that turquoise paper, at least that I could see. So I got out my water pen. This is just water. And I decide to spread out that glitter. And then we dry it again. And that's how I got most of that off. You just have to be a little patient. Now I've got my Trinity stamped glue, which would be, I think, about the fourth glue I went through. And I'm going to add on my little balloons there. I fiddle-faddle with these for a little bit. Those are actually 3 die cuts stacked. I wanted to give it a little more dimension. And now I'm just taking a little, making a little haircut there on the strands. And there is my mostly completed card. I typically do not put greetings on the inside, but I decided to on this one because it was pretty obvious it was a birthday card. So I got out a sentiment. I have to put below in the description where it's from because I can't remember off the top of my head. And I'm using Catherine Fuller. I believe it is, I will have that link below too. I can't remember what the color is called. And I'm just carefully inking this. I have a dip in my table, so I have to kind of hold it. I don't smoosh hard because that'll mess up your letters, but I do press and hold it for a minute, and that's disguised by the front of the Z fold. So there you are. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll go try Craft Roulette, and I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel, come back and see me, hit that like button. Let me know if you've got any comments or questions. I'm happy to answer. I'm also available on all the other social media. I'm going to leave you some interactive card playlist and another playlist so you can watch. Until next time, bye-bye.